Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The Call of Duty HQ is currently being dismantled, at least for now. It's not something that is going away permanently as of this very moment, but Call of Duty, out of the blue, even though we were kind of expecting it to happen based on some database leaks from the PlayStation Network database from a few weeks back, Call of Duty announced starting today, there's actually going to be a full-on update for the application that's going to start dismantling what we know as the Call of Duty HQ, as the Call of Duty hub. Funny enough, the timing on this, I've been talking about this a little bit recently, dating back to some videos a few weeks back, saying this was a massive mistake. I think Call of Duty should probably admit that the Call of Duty HQ did not go over as they intended. On paper, very cool idea. A Call of Duty hub to have all your applications together where you could easily switch between the current game, the game from last year, the game from 2 years ago, and go back and forth and check them all out seamlessly. And there would be integrations that would be, very seamless as well. And instead, what we got is just a buggy mess that also happens to leak everything for years out. That's why we have so many Black Ops 7 leaks now, so many Modern Warfare leaks now. Heck, we've even got COD 2027 leaks now because of the Call of Duty HQ and them updating files in the application now. So the HQ has backfired tremendously. Instead of being a seamless cross-launch situation, you have to launch the Call of Duty HQ and boot up the current game to then close the current game to boot up the old game. And if that crashes, you got to restart. It's just a mess. But here's what Call of Duty posted yesterday evening, saying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. So initially I see this tweet and I'm like, oh, that's not something super important. On the contrary, it's one of the most important updates we've seen this year. On July 29th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, that is today, by the time you guys see this video, this update will have taken place. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 will be moved from the main Call of Duty install and become standalone downloads. So what this is doing is actually removing Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 from the Call of Duty HQ. So as it stands, them dismantling it and sort of killing off the COD HQ, it's a temporary thing, but currently the HQ will essentially just be main Black Ops 6 files. And then soon to be, it'll be Black Ops 7. So the HQ will sort of be back when that game launches, presumably, unless they make a drastic change between now and the launch of that game. But this essentially is the end of the current Call of Duty HQ. It was MW2, MW3, and Black Ops 6 in this era of Call of Duty. But 2/3 of this getting removed, it's now just Black Ops 6. So they are essentially killing it off, although they're going to bring it back when Black Ops 7 launches. But if you're looking to play MW2 and or MW3 now, you're going to have to go through and manually download all that stuff as its own game. So you can just straight boot to it. You won't have any issues there going forward. Now, this is where players got a little bit confused, and I did clarify with my sources over at Call of Duty. Then they actually posted clarifying it even further. They say, beginning tomorrow, MW2 or MW3 owners can access those games directly after re-downloading each title. So if you are looking to play either of these, you've been playing it as of late, this is going to remove the game basically from your install. You're going to have to spend the time to re-download all this. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but long-term, it should help make those games more accessible. Legacy content related to MW2 and MW3 modes within the main Call of Duty install will be automatically moved on August 7th, which is the same launch day as Black Ops 6 Season 5, to free up storage space. So a lot of people read this segment here and were going, wait a second, are they removing MW2 and MW3 weapons and operators and camos and stuff? Because that would be legacy content. There was a lot of confusion about this. I myself said, hey, this is kind of a, broad statement. It's kind of ambiguous. Can we get some clarity on this? My sources at Activision confirmed, yes, this is going to be just the installs, not the content. So MW2, MW3 weapons won't be going anywhere. And they actually follow up by saying, Call of Duty Warzone content, such as Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 operators and weapons, will not be impacted by this change. So as it stands right now, while they are removing MW2 and MW3 from the COD HQ, all the weapons from those games, all the operator skins, the camos, etc., those will all still remain accessible in Warzone for use in future updates. And this is actually going to open up a few interesting things. Sledgehammer actually responded to something in kind of a funny way that's going to, open up the door for more opportunities with MW2 and MW3, presumably. But I also wanted to look at the reactions just real quick on this, because it says exactly what I've been saying for a little bit now of, boy, the COD HQ is a mess. Modern Warzone, the beginning of the end for COD HQ, or just remove the whole of COD HQ. Rare Activision W, I hope this is the beginning of the end of the COD HQ. RIP COD HQ, RIP Bozo here. Why not just remove the whole Call of Duty HQ? Can we just make Warzone a standalone, no longer free game? Thanks. So everyone's kind of got the same reaction here of, finally, it's the guy from SpongeBob, right, who's getting his chocolate. The Call of Duty HQ is gone. For now. Just, I really want to preface, this is a temporary thing because unless they seriously change things up with Black Ops 7, we're still going to have Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 working together in the COD HQ. As mentioned, though, we did also see an interesting response from Sledgehammer as to what this could mean for these games going forward. So this was posted on the Modern Warfare 3 subreddit saying tomorrow MW2 and MW3 will be separated from the Call of Duty HQ, and someone ended up commenting saying maybe just some serious hopium. But I hope with the separation of MW3 from the HQ, we can finally get a weapon balancing update. And Sledgehammer actually replied just with a smiley face. Sledgehammer's done a lot of these very like subtle but not so subtle responses to various things throughout MW3 and in recent times saying, hey, we see you know, be on the lookout for something. So this is essentially them hinting at the fact that Modern Warfare 3 is a standalone title. We'll see some weapon updates coming soon, presumably, that likely will not impact Warzone in any way, shape, or form. Hopefully the devs just go through and make those weapons more practical and competitive to begin with. All the MW2 and MW3 weapons still need that, but this does seemingly indicate that Modern Warfare 3 as a standalone game is going to see some updates here based on this very ambiguous but also pretty obvious response. And well, what do you know, post edit Zach here, because before I had a chance to actually publish this video, Sledgehammer actually went through and did this final weapons update. They posted this afternoon saying, how about one last MW3 update for old time's sake? Live now. So they do confirm this is the final MW3 update as it moves out of the COD HQ, but they made some adjustments to the Reclaimer 18 with the Jack Devastator, the Rival 9 with the Jack Headhunter, and then a few other armory unlocks as well. They say some new challenges will become available in the next few days for the DTIR 30-06, the Kastov LSW, then also some conversion kits as well. So kind of cool that they're still actually going through and updating this game, even though it's clearly not the main title anymore, and it's now being pushed out of the main COD app. So shout out Sledgehammer, they're always on it. Now, something to note with this, just with this whole update in general, and them confirming, hey, this is removing the MW2 and MW3 install files to free up storage space. It's not going to be removing weapons. You then also have to say, okay, well, what about the long term here? What's the future like here? Because as it stands right now, quite frankly, we've got too much going on in Warzone. This game is beyond bloated. It's the same problem that we had back when we had MW 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard all in the game. It became a game that was so bloated, so full of stuff that the devs just couldn't keep up with it. They can't go through and balance 150, 200 plus guns and a billion attachments. It's just not going to happen. So, well, we have a game that's got 150 plus guns. We've got 7 that are actually usable and truly competitive in the absolute meta, right? Or there's 2 or 3 guns that are used across the board by the best of the best players. That's just a very monotonous, very boring game at that point. So yeah, already have the situation now where the game is probably too bloated and probably has too much stuff going on. But you then have Black Ops 7, which creates an interesting situation, and one that we haven't had before, because previously it was 3-year cycles of eras for Call of Duties before we saw the reset. We had MW 2019, Cold War, Vanguard, hard reset that basically, locked all the content back to Warzone 1, and then the Warzone 2 update happened. It was just MW2, and then just MW2 and MW3. But now, coming up with Black Ops 7, presumably, we're going to have 4 games integrated into Warzone. MW 2022, MW3, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7. That's never happened before. And that's even more. That's another 40, 50, 60 weapons by the time Black Ops 7 is fully out and the post-launch seasons are going on. Way too much going on. So now I'm wondering, okay, they're removing MW2 and MW3 from the files here, but the content is staying. How long until we start to see certain things vaulted? Like MW2 weapons. Okay, this game is 4 years old at this point. It's getting vaulted back. MW3, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7 content will still remain. And then we sort of maybe see a reset with MW4 because that'll be like the new engine and everything going on there. Time is going to tell, but that is something to, I think, keep an eye on. And it's probably the next step in whatever the phase is for this general update here with the Call of Duty HQ sort of being killed and dismantled in front of our eyes as it stands. But that being said, that's going to wrap things up for this one. Pretty interesting news here today that, like I said, we've sort of been expecting, because PlayStation Games, I was talking about how there's separate now files for MW2 and MW3 appearing in the database, which would indicate they're becoming standalone titles. And now it's here, it's coming to fruition. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you enjoyed the information, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. If you're new here, you want to make sure you're up to date with everything going on in COD on a daily basis. No better place than right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. But once more, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch you later. Peace out.